Welcome to the Independent Thinking Children's Online Book Festival in partnership with Sue Atkins Book Club, and I'm really pleased to be here with something different. We've spoken to lots of people with storybooks or books around parenting, but what we're talking now is to Aaron and Marianne are from Snow Media about these sorts of books, which are winning at English. They've got winning at English for 3 to 4, 4 to 5, which is the one we're going to focus on. And we've got winning at maths for those age ranges as well. So welcome to both of you. Just fill us in a little bit about your background, how you came to be producing these amazing resources for smaller children.
We first formed Snow Tiger Media, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And in 2011,
yeah.
And initially was doing private publishing for schools,
yeah.
Where we did schools handwriting books written by the children,
Yeah.
for the children.
I'll give you an example here.
Yeah.
As an example,
Yeah.
That's it. It's in the kids' own handwriting.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
With a self-portrait as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of for children to. Oh God, can we start again?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
No, you're fine. Right, no, you can. It's basically used as a, in this instance, as a end of year leaving gift for some of the year 6 pupils, because that kind of that shows the school in the best light for, like, if you like, their most advanced writers, if you like.
Yeah.
However, other schools with larger volumes, such as Marianne's demonstrating, that has covered all the way through the year groups. So every single child has some writing in a book that's published and sold at sort of school fairs. And that's how we kind of got started. And during the lockdown, the kids, our eldest one had home learning, our youngest one didn't. Through the years, we've been compiling. We've had the idea because I used to work in the publishers. I'm a graphic designer.
I used to work in production in HarperCollins. So between us, we've got so much experience.
Between us, like we're half of publishers, basically, between us. So we've taken
with that experience, we decided to go ahead and publish educational books aimed at the early years, so children between 3 and 5 years of age.
Especially at the moment, because, like, these are the children you've seen on the news. They're almost known as the COVID generation. They're the children that have missed out on the home learning during the pandemic and stuff, and they're the ones that need the most sort of support. So the books that we've produced are in line with the new national curriculum for 2021, and it is they're comprehensive. Basically, they give a big overview of the curriculum. Basically, it's almost a day's lesson in a class per page, almost.
And there's an activity on each page.
There's a different activity on every page. Every activity is measured with. There's an activity key on the inside of the page, and that shows what the objectives is for that particular.
So what sort of activities there? What's in those little circles? So,
for example, sound it out, which is mainly aimed at the phonics section. When children are learning to read, they can sound out the letters. There's another bit where they can trace the letters, so it's just called trace it, or read it, color it. So it's really
match it. Like when you're going from sort of like A to B, etc. Depends. And the idea is that they progress from the sort of like the nursery age groups, with this a little bit easier as an introduction into learning maths or English, going through.
So that helps with counting and colours as well.
We also, along with local artists, have illustrated a majority of the books ourselves, because that's what we used to do for fun, and we thought we would incorporate that into our books as a way of shoehorning our own work to get published.
Where does the name Snow Tiger, I stand corrected, Snow Tiger Media come from?
Well, 10 years ago, like when we was like trying to think of something different, to tell you the truth, like kind of.
It just evolved, really.
Yeah.
We just had.
It was going to be called something to do because I like ducks and I like green. It was something to do like green duck, and it didn't really work. You know what I mean? We wanted to have something that
a bit catchy,
yeah, a bit catchy, a bit memorable, sounds powerful, but yet a bit cuddly.
Yeah, more powerful than a duck, definitely.
Yeah, this is it. Well, I'm the duck. She's very much the tiger.
Oh, you know where you stand. That's very good.
I know where I was at. Lunch. That's where I'm at.
So how do your book compete? I mean, there's all sorts of resources out there for that hit these sorts of buttons for schools. What makes your books different? What makes them stand out? Why are people buying them and not buying the other resources that are out there?
I mean, I think that with the fun illustrations, I think the children don't seem to think that they're learning. It's more of a fun-based activity book, and it's just.
It's like we've got bright neon colours from our sort of focus and research groups. One of the teachers came back and said she works with children with kind of special needs, and the bright neon colours actually help some children engage better. For others, it's just something nice to look at.
It's just a nice, colourful way. I mean, they're in a lot of bookshops
as well. Thankfully.
After research, we knew that fluorescent colours would stand out as well. And
from working in publishing and design and stuff like that, we've kind of used that. Also with obviously, as you rightly pointed out, there are others on the market. The case is with these kind of books is that once you've completed it, then you can move on to the next one. It's not like a lesson where you can then think that they're very sort of static. It's something you can take around with you wherever you go. So if you complete a competitor's book, you can then move on to, say, ours as well, with different questions, different style of questions also. As I say, these are all of the books have been written with teachers and educational consultants and been tested with age-appropriate focus groups, and we've scored quite highly amongst those groups.
So tell me a little bit more about that, because again, that will reassure the teachers listening to this that they are. Yes, that it isn't just here's stuff out of my head that looks nice. Tell us about the research that's going on.
Followed the curriculum.
It follows the curriculum 100%. And also, whilst we are publishing professionals, we don't claim for 1 second to be teaching professionals. That's how comes we've employed and asked various consultants and teachers to provide input into all the questions to ensure that it hits various criteria. The focus groups were set up by our educational consultant that we'd hired, and they put them into age-appropriate groups, each proofs of the book before it got printed, obviously. We didn't print thousands and go hope it works. So yes, they very much were sort of going through the sort of proofs, if you like, to make sure the questions worked, they was understandable, they was in the correct tone of voice, the language, how was very much in keeping with how the teachers would teach the children at the school. Also with a double-edged to that, because like whilst these are used as learning support within some schools at the moment, so they're brand new, you have to think about the home learning aspects as well. So like, in a way, the parent forms the role of the teacher. So that also have to understand what the questions are without being sort of patronising as well. So it's a way of, making sure that that was all written correctly. And thankfully, there wasn't many really changes, was there, to do after the focus groups.
You know, most of the parents, we asked as well, they said the children didn't just do one page, they wanted to carry on and do many other pages.
That's what we really found encouraging, actually, to tell you the truth. What did one of them say? Because they're learning without realizing they're learning. That's what they said. They're learning through fun.
Exactly. Because especially at this age group, you don't want to put too much pressure on them. And, I know a lot of nurseries have the Montessori way of learning where you learn through play, but this is kind of learning through play. I mean,
it's like there's colouring exercises and stuff like that. you can learn through play up to a certain point, but eventually you do have to know how to count. You do have to
write your
name.
or,
You know, these are important skills for anybody.
Yeah, and you can learn those through play and through enjoyment and through not knowing that you're learning. It's not about direct transmission and everybody, okay, this is how you're going to hold a pen. Children, I get the impression with the books that children can, set up in the right way, they can work through them in their own time at their own pace. And you say that children go on further than they're meant to, because there is a progression. I noticed. Well, it says start at the beginning or work your way through it. It does get more tricky towards the end. You've got phonemes and all sorts of things at the back of that. Winning at English 4 to 5. It's quite interesting language that's being introduced for the parent or for the teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
quite a journey.
We found with our own children, stuff that we learn at school and stuff that they're bringing home. We're like, wow.
It's completely
Let me read this quickly. Make sure I understand it myself.
Fronted adverbials seems to be the thing that sort of vexes a lot of teachers. It's a little bit older than here, but that seems to be the thing. You've got to have fronted adverbials.
We'll progress to do the other.
Yeah, that's the thing. In the pipeline. Up to the. You're correct. Yes, up to which you will be correct. So we do plan to do all the primary years, but these do take a while to produce accurately. We don't want to just churn out. Just anything. So at the moment we're in consultation with more teachers of the higher age groups.
Key stage 2. Maybe.
Key stage 2. Yeah. Key stage 1's in the pipeline, but we're still compiling the questions at the moment. We are looking for more teachers and qualified individuals to provide input. Definitely. So if anybody's watching this who might wanted to sort of help you trial it out and be the focus group and everything, they can sort of be contacted. info@snowtargetmedia.co.uk is the place to.
Well, you never know. You never know. Teachers are always out for free stuff.
Well, yes, exactly. Look, we've been running some competitions in the Primary Times. Which is a magazine that goes to different schools, and in said competition, the children have been winning at book for their entire class. Actually, that's been proving popular over the last sort of few months. One child enters, hopefully wins, and then everyone gets one. It's a way of sharing, and we've distributed a couple of batches of books to sort of local schools to sort of help them as well. So bring the kids up to speed. So there was a donation to local school and the local nursery. But and
we've had really good positive feedback from the parents. Actually.
From the parents and stuff like that as well.
So are you finding parents are buying it from the bookshops for their children directly as opposed to going via the schools?
Well, this is it. I mean, thankfully, they are in bookshops, but we have no influence about someone's shopping habit once they're inside the shop. All we can do is get it on the shelf, isn't it?
Yes, and a couple of book shops have restocked, so we see that
that's a
really positive outcomes.
And the ones that are in the schools and stuff, the good thing is it's very much sort of like word of mouth as well. So let's say one local school has had access to them. They may be in a sort of swimming class with another child, you know what I mean? And they might be taking it, doing a little bit of practice whilst it's there, and then word of mouth sort of builds it on. But at
the moment though, it's quite difficult to get into schools because of COVID. You can't. Tell me about it. It's impossible. So we're hoping that more teachers out there will see it through, Primary Times and word of mouth.
Word of mouth, various sort of social media campaigns. But and
how if I was a teacher, how am I using it? Everybody starts at page 1, or do they sort of take it out in their own individual work, or is it homework, or how are schools using it?
Homework, I would say. They would hand the book probably in the beginning of the year. There's no pressure. The beginning of the year. They would give the books, and then the children can fill out a page once a week. I mean, reception age children, they don't get much homework, so it's normally 1 page of English, 1 page of maths, and there's 32 pages here, and that should really cover the curriculum, like, taking into consideration all the different school holidays and half terms, and
these are very
Christmas
much
holidays,
designed to be learning support. And whilst they follow the curriculum, it's learning support. So no way is it designed to sort of like, interfere with the school plans and stuff like that. It's very much an aid, if you like, a learning aid.
Exactly.
So this book, the child starts at the beginning of term. When would you expect them to have got their certificate? And I'll get you to show with us the certificate in a minute.
So, for example, if they did 1 page
per week, it depends. As I say, like, in our experience, some of the children that have been using this have been smashing this out within a half term.
To get the certificate, there you go.
Yeah, the certificate, you get a certificate at the end. There's progress charts as well. So as you complete each page,
you colour in
there you okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see what I mean? And the answers are on the back, so don't look at that, all
right? What impact are you saying? I mean, I can see on one level, I can see schools and parents thinking, okay, this is going to give my child the edge, make them school ready. They've got their entrance exam, they've got their SATs, at some point ahead, or there's that sort of academic pressure that we put on children of these ages at the moment, which isn't entirely healthy all of the time. Yet, and like you said, Aaron, they've got to learn to read and write. They've got to learn these sorts of things. What impact does having these books have in terms of their confidence and their self-esteem? There is a thing called maths anxiety, for example, that we can sort of pass on to kids. How are you helping them feel better in themselves about approaching their reading, writing, and their maths through the books?
Well, I would say, first of all, due to like the sort of like the bright colours and the sort of almost comical nature of the illustrations, like in the maths one, as you highlighted, you've got like counting the squirrels. I don't see much pressure for a child for counting a squirrel, and then like the eggs and the cakes, they're quite engaging. And the thing is that you've got the sum is there, and then they have like the number bar, which is obviously used throughout education. That number line, I beg your pardon, I stand corrected. And then you got an illustration of the cake or whatever, what the sum is. And everything's quite big, quite bright, quite clear. And like I say, there's no real pressure to complete this in any sort of point in time. We've written in the introduction that all children are different. Some work better in the morning, some after lunch. If a child's resisting, come back to it another time.
No pressure.
These are intended to be fun. So this is very much a learning support, as opposed to this is what you need to do. It follows everything you need to understand, but there's no pressure for it, because the thing is, this is a book, or these are books rather, that you're going to have in the house. You can come back to at any point in time. Obviously I'm old now, but we used to have called rainy day books. That's what they used to be called. I prefer the term all weather books.
You talking about illustration. That one really made me smile. It's just the
hide and seek.
I did like that one.
I modelled that bear upon my own physique.
No, it's not. I mean, because what you're saying is the kids are just doing it and enjoying it and developing these skills. You're not saying you're now going to do math, you're now going to do numeracy, whatever. You're just saying let's get the book out and let's play with it and
have fun,
enjoy it. And it's like a big comic that they're working their way through in many ways.
Hopefully, yes. We had a lot of fun making it. Really, it was a lot of pressure, of course. It's just especially like when obviously we're getting the information from the teachers, but Marianne and I do have, as I say at the top of the interview, we spoke about we have extensive experience in publishing. We worked very much as a big team, with every aspect of publishing, from the concept through to delivery and secondarily marketing and PR. There were teams for all of this. So Marianne and I have been rather stretched, doing each individual part of it. We're getting there, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have any hair to lose, so
I mean, I said teachers like free things. They also like things that are right and proper and correct and well thought out, and they don't take any rubbish either. So the fact that it's going down well in schools so far shows that
we was nervous.
Rightly so.
We had it all made by some teachers, and we're part of various teacher forums and stuff like that. And even teachers are going to be listening to this and they're going to agree with me. They don't always agree with each other about how things should be done. So, we've very much thrown a sort of like a cat amongst the pigeons.
You can't. I mean,
the world of phonics has been a battleground.
Yeah, exactly.
Very much so. So well done for entering the fray.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah, but perhaps we was naive, like berserkers running in. It's the world of phonics.
Naivety is good. You wouldn't do anything without naivety. But just remind everybody how they can get hold of the books, how they get hold of you, what your plans are, and then we'll wrap up.
Yep, our website is www.snowtigermedia.co.uk. You can email us on info@snowtigermedia.co.uk as well. All the books are available in the shop section of our website.
There's a list of stockists, mainly London-based.
You can see all the different bookshops that we're placed in. There's also a section for the writing legacy books as well. So if there's any teachers interested in, entering their school in doing something like this for their children, that would be like as a leave-in gift for year six.
We're also available on Waterstones. They order it through their website on Waterstones. We're not quite in the stores just yet because there's a long process to get through.
Waterstone. It could take 6 months or so, and we've only been out for 2 months.
With all your publishing knowledge, knows all that.
Okay.
So yes, but mainly for our website. All of our contact details are on our website too. Go wild.
Right.
Get while they're hot.
And Marianne, thank you ever so much. Really interesting, and good luck with the project and all the future ones that are coming as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Ian. Thank you for your time and all your help. Take care, sir.